Good Sunday morning. I am meteorologist Nicole Hartford. Thank you for joining us here on 11 Alive Plus. We've got a weather impact alert that has been issued for today as we continue to monitor an elevated flood risk across the state and into portions of Alabama as well. So that weather impact alert, we've issued it through tonight, but it is possible, depending on how things play out during the day today, that we do extend that alert into tomorrow as well. We've already seen rainfall totals across portions of North Georgia and into Cleburne County, Alabama, of widespread about 1 to 5 inches, with some even locally higher totals. And with more rounds of rainfall on the way, an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain is expected. So you need to be cautious throughout today and yes, even into tonight if you have plans to be out on the roads, especially as it gets dark later tonight and it becomes a little bit harder to see. This is mainly going to be impacting areas surrounding streams and creeks, as well as those typical low-lying flood-prone locations. With this elevated flood risk, the National Weather Service has issued a flood watch that goes through tomorrow evening across much of North Georgia, and it does include Metro Atlanta. So make sure you have a way to get alerts on your phone as well, should any flash flood warnings be issued. We've already had a number of locations that have been dealing with flooding yesterday evening, overnight, and even into this morning. Rain is still ongoing, but it's not nearly as heavy or widespread as what it was just a couple hours ago. Now, that said, we are still seeing pockets of very heavy rainfall stretching through the metro and then out towards the east up the 85 corridor towards Athens as well. We do have a flash flood warning that remains in effect for portions of Rockdale as well as Newton counties and then into Walton County. A lot of the heavier rain has moved out of this area, but with more runoff, it is possible that we continue to see some flooding issues there. Specifically in Newton County, it has been reported that the Housing Authority on Alcovey Road in Covington has been seeing some flooding, so just be very cautious. And if you do get out on the roads, you see standing water, do not try to drive through it. The National Weather Service is also very closely monitoring Pew Creek near Patterson Road in Gwinnett County, and that's where they have seen the minor flood stage. So in the floodplain there, some minor flooding is already ongoing, and they're monitoring for additional water rising along Pew Creek as well. This is all because of this stalled front that is down towards the south of us that has left us with this really wet air mass across the southeast. It essentially is supplying a lot of water in the air that has made its way into showers and thunderstorms across the southeast. And as long as this stalled front stays across the state, we'll continue to track rounds of rainfall today, tomorrow, likely even into Tuesday. So it looks like this pattern will be pretty prolonged. That means it's going to be a soggy day today. It's going to be a soggy start to the week, and it will also stay overcast and a lot milder. Rain chances through today and tomorrow are expected to be the highest with the most widespread activity. We're keeping those rain chances around 60% both today and tomorrow, down a little bit to 50% by Tuesday, and then things start to turn more isolated as our pattern changes a little bit into the middle of the week, but these rain chances are really not going anywhere. So here's how it plays out on our forecast track. This round of rainfall that we've been monitoring overnight has been very slowly moving up towards the northeast and also dissipating a little bit. As this round of rainfall wanes, we'll be tracking a new developing round of rainfall down towards the southwest that will push additional scattered showers. Bottom line, we've got rain chances in the forecast all day today. It's not going to be all rain all the time, but the danger with a lot of these scattered showers we've seen thus far is they're what we call training showers and storms. So that's when these redevelop over the same locations for prolonged periods of time, and that will likely continue to be an issue today and into tomorrow. So in some spots, we could see that elevated flood risk, prolonged periods of rainfall where just 10 miles down the road, they're completely dry. So we'll be watching very closely to to see where those areas of heavy rainfall end up developing throughout the day today and into tonight. I do think coverage of rain compared to what we've seen through the overnight and earlier this morning is not going to be quite as widespread. We're talking scattered activity, so on and off rainfall into this afternoon and evening. There will be periods of dry time where rain is not actively falling, but it's likely going to stay kind of soggy even without rain. As we go into tonight and early tomorrow morning, still scattered showers and storms in the forecast, and that'll continue through tomorrow as well. So there's your timestamp, Monday at lunchtime, noon tomorrow, still tracking scattered showers, again, periods of very heavy rainfall, which will keep that flood risk elevated throughout the day on Monday. I know a lot of kids are headed back to school tomorrow for the first day of the year, or perhaps already started last week. I would be prepared for rainfall at the bus stop, both in the morning as well as the afternoon. It looks more likely to see rain during the second half of the day, but it could end up soggy both times. Temperature-wise, it's going to be really mild. Overnight lows tomorrow morning will get down into the 60s. Again, here's our rain chances through the next couple of days, so it will be a pretty soggy end to the weekend and a soggy start to this upcoming week. Temperatures have also really been impacted. I'm sure you noticed yesterday it wasn't nearly as hot. Highs only got up to around 80 degrees in Atlanta, and that is because of a little bit of a modified wedge that has developed. I'm sure that you've heard of the wedge pattern before here in North Georgia. Typically, we see these wedges develop in the wintertime months, but we've got a little bit of a version of it for today and the next couple of days as well. Essentially what the wedge is, if you don't know, is when high pressure develops up towards the northeast and pushes all of this cool air up along the Appalachian Mountains, essentially trapping it. And you can really see, based on our temperature contour, the difference in temperatures along the mountains and then down into North Georgia and Metro Atlanta with the impact that that wedge has had on temperatures. So we're currently sitting in the 60s right now. It's gotten a little cooler actually over the course of the last couple hours. It's much more evident as you go up towards the northeast. The wedge a little bit stronger there, with temperatures at 64 in Clayton, 66 in Gainesville, only 65 in Athens. And this is going to keep our temperatures well below average the next couple of days. So I'm forecasting highs today only in the mid 70s. We're not going to warm up a whole lot throughout the day. How it feels right now is pretty similar to how it will feel into the afternoon, maybe with a couple additional degrees. Today and tomorrow, temperature-wise, will be really similar, and then as the wedge starts to erode, we'll warm up a little bit into the week. So highs are back up into the low 80s by Wednesday as well as Thursday. I know I'm mainly focusing on the risk for showers and storms today, as well as the flood threat, but a little reminder that August is typically when hurricane season for the Atlantic starts to heat up, and we're watching this area that is just off the coast that has a 50% chance of development in the next 2 days. So this could likely become either a subtropical or tropical depression. The good news is it's moving away from the coast. So this doesn't look like it's going to have any impacts along the U.S. coast, and certainly not here in North Georgia, but it could become perhaps a tropical or subtropical depression, our next named tropical system. There's also another area over the open water of the Atlantic. This only has a 30% chance of development over the next 7 days, but it is entering into an atmosphere that's a little more conducive for tropical organization. So we'll be watching that really closely as it makes its way up towards the northwest, kind of close to the Caribbean Sea. Otherwise, your 7-day forecast is a wet one. Again, we have that weather impact alert for today as we continue to monitor the risk for some flooding, especially along those typical low-lying areas along streams, creeks, and rivers. We may end up extending that weather impact alert into tomorrow, kind of depending on how the day plays out today. Regardless, though, it is going to be soggy. You will need the rain gear close by as we have scattered showers and maybe a couple isolated storms through Sunday, Monday, as well as into Tuesday. I don't think we'll see much as far as sunshine is concerned today or tomorrow. We may start to get a couple breaks in the clouds as we head towards Tuesday and Wednesday, but even that is not a guarantee. We will continue to have updates here as well as on air and online as we monitor this flood risk, and of course any updates to our weather impact alert as well. Stay safe out there, everyone, and have a good but yes, very soggy Sunday. you.